What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I'm your host, Reckless Rexx Ruger. Watching my back, as always, El Flaco Explosivo, a.k.a. the Alexis Arguello Puppet. We're back with another banger of an episode. Amazing and real boxing conversations right here, second to none. You know the motto. Legends, luminaries, world champions, and fighters on the come-up. All coming here to chop it up with your boy, Rexx Ruger. My guest is already here, so we are getting down to it ASAP. Let's go. And there he is. What's up, my man?
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, good to have you on here, man. First of all, man, it's a pleasure to meet you, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing this, man. And first of all, man, Thomas, usually when I start these things, I kind of like to kind of go back to the beginning, man. When did you first get a pair of boxing gloves on? How old were you?
17.
17. So by a lot of people's definition, man, that would be a late starter.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so what got you into it, man? Like, because usually you get the story where, I've done over 200 episodes. You get a lot of guys who are young. They're getting in a lot of street fights. It's kind of a diversion. What was the story for you?
Kind of something like that. Same thing, young, out there. Actually, because we was in high school. I started off at 17. I want to say I was a junior in high school. And I just knew it was a couple guys in my school that was in boxing since they was about 8, and seeing me being a little knucklehead, getting into the little fights, and they was like, man, you know how to use your hands, not to know nothing about boxing.
Yeah.
And I mean, you should try boxing. And I'm like, man, I don't got time for that. And just pretty much what happened, what actually sealed the deal was that I had so it was like, let me see, it was 2017. So Floyd Mayweather was on MTV Cribs.
Okay.
And I seen that, and I was just sitting there. My grandparents, I was raised by my grandparents, and they didn't approve for me to box. But like,
Right.
He came on MTV Cribs, and I was telling her, like, I was sitting there with him. I'm telling him, like, look, this guy made all this money off.
He's balling. Look at the way he's living. Yeah.
I'm like, and they didn't really care. Like, hey, you're not boxing. So actually, the following day, I snuck and went to the boxing gym anyway, and I've been in the gym since.
So you eventually got their approval?
Nope.
No.
Because my grandparents, they're a lot older. I was young, so I was raised by they're a lot older, so they didn't know for a while that I was going to. They just thought I was probably outside the neighborhood at the park somewhere, but I was at the boxing gym.
But I think that's a common reaction, though, because I don't think anybody would want to see any of their loved ones be signing up for something that, everybody that watches this, everybody that knows boxing, it's the hurt business. It is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't be happy, like, if your kid or somebody, grandkid is coming to you and saying, hey, I'm going to sign up to get punched in the face for a living.
Sure.
That's a tough sell. That's a tough sell to any parent right there.
Sure.
And so previous to that, man, other than seeing Floyd on TV, so it wasn't really on your radar? Like, you weren't watching it? There were no fighters that you were looking at as, like, idols or anything like that?
Like, I really ain't know nothing about boxing until then.
And so what so for people that don't know,
everybody knew, like, heard of the Muhammad Ali's and all that stuff, but, like, I was not into boxing. I was I liked the basketball. I liked playing basketball at the time.
And so do you feel like that hooping, do you feel like you had a future in hooping at all? Is that something you were taking on a serious level?
No, I wasn't playing for no team. I was just playing in the neighborhood.
What was the problem? Height?
Huh?
What was the problem? Height?
No, I never outside of boxing. I played for like a rec league for the recreation center in the community, but I never actually played like an organized sport outside of boxing. Like, I was outside in the neighborhood getting into the wrong things.
But do you still follow basketball? Are you still a fan?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you must be quite happy being a Cleveland guy yourself, man, right? I believe the final seeding ended up with Cleveland being number 1 in the East, right?
Yeah.
I'm an upstate New York guy, so I'm sporting my Knicks hat.
We was number 1 in the East. We played AFC, which is Miami.
Yeah. I am worried as a Knicks fan, man, that we will eventually have to see you guys, man. And it didn't bode well for us during the regular season, man. I don't think the Knicks are quite where we need to be yet to beat the Cavaliers, Celtics. I think those teams still got our number.
Yeah, playoff ball get different, but yeah,
It is.
But we ain't looking past nobody, but we know the task gonna be Boston for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And so so I'm looking at your box rec, and obviously just tuned in a couple of weeks ago, man. You had the fight with Raymond Ford, but before that, man, I want to get your opinion on the fight before that, man, and how as a fighter, man, you deal with that, because it got stopped. It got stopped because of a cut, man. But it was I'm very close on the cards, man. But then suddenly it gets stopped in round 6 or round 7, and you end up getting a technical loss, correct?
Yeah.
Which is the absolute worst, right? Because you don't know that suddenly the plug is going to get pulled on this fight, right? I mean,
yeah, they quit the fight. They knew what they was doing.
They did, right? So it's more of a tactical move. You, in your opinion.
Yeah, they knew what they was doing because they knew what they was doing because of the cut, and they seen what was happening, how the fight was starting to shift.
Yep.
And they took their way out when they had a chance.
Yeah, I know that from watching it, but just for people that might be watching this and not know, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the way that it kind of went too.
Yeah, it was out of my control. Even though it just really was a bad call on the referee, still.
Right.
Because the cut that he stopped the fight for came from a punch and not a headbutt,
And for people that might not know, too, back in 2020, man, you had what I would consider to be, I remember watching this fight, man, a controversial, I would say a polarizing decision loss against Pitbull Cruz, which was another fight that was extremely razor thin.
Yeah. I had, well, you can't see it probably on here, but I had to get surgery after the fight. I had broke my hand in the second round of that fight. And I made it through the fight. He won by a point. I mean, the good thing about him, I'm happy for him. He moved on, and I mean, he did what he did. So that was great. I just happened to been I just really ain't had too much good luck in boxing as of yet. I've been on the end of some shitty decisions, but it come with the game.
And so what is next for you though, man? Obviously you're coming off, I hate to call the one before that, even though it's a loss on your record, though.
Yeah.
It just stinks the way it goes down, though, because there's obviously a certain, it's not it's not a fully resolved ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Once they say you lost, though.
I know.
Yeah.
But what would be next for you?
You said what's next?
Yeah. What's next?
It's like coming off the the Raymond Ford loss. I can't really say. I mean, I know for sure that I got something in the works. I actually I'm talking to TKO right now. The new thing, the Dana White thing.
Yep.
So we're gonna see what's probably we talking with that. And as of right now, I can't really say. I mean, just got out the ring last week. Been 8 days, 9 days. So and not one of my best performances. I don't know where I was at mentally in that fight because anybody that know me know I come for war. But I don't know where I was at mentally in that fight. Ray was my guy. So everybody think it was because we was cool or on some friendly stuff. I'm like, nah, I don't. Like when we get in the ring, ain't no friendly time.
Right.
But
it's business. Yeah.
Yeah, but it turned out how it turned out. It is what it is, and back to the drawing board and see, when the phone rings, I get in the gym, stay ready for the phone to ring until I see what's going on with the whole TKO thing.
And now, where do you feel like you stand? Because this is one of these things that's been debated throughout the history of time. I mean, it used to be, a person's prime, as an athlete, it used to correlate with them being younger. But the more guys I have on here that are still competing at a high level, and you're 34, where do you feel like you are right now in terms of your prime as an athlete? Starting your prime, the midst of it, the other end of it? Where do you look tremendous still in the ring.
I still feel like I'm in my 20s.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, I'd have threw my gloves up around the wire. But I still feel like I'm in my 20s. Your body, I think Bernard Hopkins said that before, but your body tell you when it's time.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And as right now, I still feel young. I ain't hurting. My body not just getting up hurting. I will say it's time to start. I ain't trying to be 40 years old in boxing, so it's time to get back to the basics and make a mark in the sport. If you still got the chance of becoming a champion, You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So just go all out for these next few years and make the best out of it and get out the way. Because again, it is a young man's sport.
Have you thought about, and again, only you would know this, again, by listening to the signs, that your body tell you. But have you thought about exploring other weight classes? Do you have a ceiling as to how high you could go? Like, obviously, like this fight was just competed with Raymond Ford at super featherweight.
Well, actually, I went down a weight class. I was
Okay.
originally fighting at 135.
Okay. Okay. And so where do you think you'll end up
So I
now
went
going
down.
forward?
I went, huh?
So where would you like to be competing, going
I mean,
forward?
I'm always gonna stay 30 or 35. I'm naturally just smaller.
Okay.
Like them 40, 47-pound dudes be big.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
like, not say that I won't end up fighting at 40. It's possibility I end up fighting at 40 if it makes sense. But I feel like I can hold it myself at 40. But yeah, 30, 35. I'm gonna stick around 30, 35.
Are you a guy that typically walks around pretty close to your fighting weight?
Not too far away. Probably like
Yeah.
around 12 pounds out, something like that.
Yeah, so you're not killing yourself to make weight at all.
Yeah, a lot of these dudes, they come in 25, 30, 35
I know.
pounds. That's what I'm saying. So that's why them dudes at 40 be big, because them dudes, majority of that whole weight class, all them dudes be 65 plus.
I know, right? They come in, yeah, I know. They make weight and then they get they get swole. I know. They come in huge. And so for you, from a fan standpoint, are there guys that you look around who competing and doing it right now who you're a fan of? Are there guys that you enjoy watching?
Oh yeah, Jerron Booth Ennis, that's probably my favorite boxer of today's era right now.
Yeah.
He reminds me of my all-time favorite boxer, really both of them, which is Pernell Whitaker and Roy Jones.
Yeah.
Boots is crazy with it. I like Boots, of course, and then I'm a fan of a lot of fighters. I like Tank. I like the Charlos. I think I like Shakur's boxing ability. You know what I'm saying? He's a great boxer. It's a lot. But like realistically, the fighters I watch, I say that I tune in to watch if they got to fight. I tune in. I watch the Shakur if you got to fight. I watch this Tank. I watch the Charlos.
Yeah.
Pretty much the people I like. The Charlos, Canelo, of course, Terrence Crawford.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought those two names up because they have been linked together in a potential super fight in September, man. As someone that's fought in different weight classes yourself, obviously they exist for a reason. Where do you rate Bud's chances of moving all the way up to 168 and fighting Canelo?
It's gonna be a big jump for him, but I feel like, so for me, I feel like if the weight, or should I say the power, if the power don't really affect him, in the fight,
yeah,
I feel like he can pull it off.
Yeah, I've had a lot of guys on here, and I've posed that question to them, and they do say, it's no secret, obviously, Bud is a special fighter. You know what I mean? If there's somebody out there who could pull it off, he'd be one of those guys that could do it.
And the reason why I say that, because like if the power not, and we're like, oh, it's just too much, like he's just too much, because they got weight classes for a reason. It matters.
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
if the power not really affecting him, he can hold and still perform at a high level how he want to perform, because the power ain't really affecting him. I believe he put it off. I mean, if you think about it, Canelo had a problem with southpaws and boxers.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
Crawford could turn southpaw and give you that boxing ability and make you struggle with that. So he got attributes that Canelo struggled with. So, and like everybody keeps trying to say, "Oh, Canelo old, he on his way out." Like, bro, they're the same age.
I know. I think people forget Canelo's not an old guy just because of how many fights he's got under his belt. But he had like 40 pro fights when he was like 16. You know what I mean? Like he's been doing this for a minute. You know what I mean? Like he's been in the game for a while, man. I mean, he had 40 fights almost when he fought Floyd. I mean, he's been doing this, man. Those Mexican guys, man, some of them will turn pro like really young. He was pro when he was like 15.
Yeah, I'm like, they're the same age, bro. He ain't the age. I'm like, the thing is, it's just gonna be just that. If Canelo can handle the power, I give him a good chance. I don't see him knocking Canelo out. I don't see that happening at all. But yeah. I do see him being there without boxing.
What about, I want to bring up another guy who's originally from Cleveland as well. I want to get your opinion on like where, it's a polarizing topic because there are a lot of old school guys that I have on here, who don't like what it does for boxing. But then there's a lot of people who like the fact that it brings new eyes to boxing. But where do you stand on these Jake Paul events? Are you a fan of them?
I knew that was coming. I don't watch them. Wait, matter of fact, I'm lying. I'm wrong. I do watch them.
Yeah.
I don't pay for them though. I go to wherever somebody else watching them
Right.
at.
Right.
I'm a fan of it though. Like I don't really. I mean, as me being a boxer, looking from the outside in, I'm happy for him. Like I said, he came in the game, was able to make a big mark and make crazy money with no experience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you got us real fighters that went through the amateur ranks and through the professional ranks. And you got probably about 80% of boxers that never even made $20,000.
That are grinding, and have been grinding since they were kids and don't get those paydays.
Never even made $20,000 in a fight. So you got a guy that just came out the gate making multi-millions. It's crazy. But like I said, I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no hate in me. I love it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He actually got one of my guys on the, which is Montana Love. You know who that is, because that's how Montana got on. Really, when he fought, when Jake Paul had that card downtown.
Yep.
In Cleveland, and Tanner fought on it. And that's when he got that deal with Matron. So, and he always put the locals on. He always look out for the locals and all that. So he do a great job. I watches it. I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan of it. I'm not gonna say I am a fan of it. It's like the same thing for me. I don't watch the Floyd exposition. Everyone, I don't watch all that shit is a circus show to me. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I don't watch it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And shout out to Jake. He's doing good things for the women fighters too, putting those on his cards, getting the ladies paid. You know what I mean? That's always a good thing. So are you able to look at him? I know he's living like a fighter, training like a fighter, wants to be seen as a fighter. But when you look at his resume, you as a professional fighter yourself, who's been at this for a while now, are you able to look at him and say, like when you see Jake Paul, do you say, now there's a fighter, or has he not earned that yet?
He's a fighter for sure.
Yeah.
Anybody that slide that headgear off their head and put them little bitty gloves on and go in there, step in that square circle is a fighter, regardless of regardless of what opposition they fighting. It take a lot to go under there. You know what I'm saying?
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Anybody that's willing to do that and get in there and put potentially their life on the line to entertain the fans is a fighter.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you look at it.
And now, when did you feel like, like I know you were talking about having fights in the street and everything, man. Like, when did you know that you had like the mindset to fight? Because you bring up a great point. Not everybody is built to climb between those ropes and have a confrontation with another man. I think most normal people go out of their way to avoid confrontations, man. You know what I mean? They don't want to get in fights with other people, man. A lot of the physical attributes can be taught. There are people with God-given talent, but, being taught how to throw a jab, being taught footwork, a lot of that stuff can be learned at a gym, but the mental aspect of fighting is not something that everyone is built to do, man. But when did you know you had that part of it down? Was fighting something you just always enjoyed and had a knack for and had no fear of doing?
No, it's so funny. I'm not even a fighter. Like, I'm not the toughest guy on the block. I'm not none of that. But it really just was the environment I was raised and born into. Like literally a hobby for, I don't like to really speak on the past, but like a hobby. When we left school, we probably still had our school clothes on, and we gather up 10, 15 people and just walk to other people's neighborhood and just start fights. Like, it was just
like Fight Club.
Yeah, it was just weird. Like, we just did the most oddest, weirdest thing. So, and don't get me wrong, I wasn't the like I said, I'm not a fighter. We go over here, we nervous. Shit, it's a fight.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, though, man, because because there are still, even when you do it on a professional level, there are still nerves that you have to be able to like suppress and still get in there and perform, despite that.
No, for sure.
Which is not something that everybody is capable of doing. You know what I mean?
It's natural. The nerves, all that. Like, it's natural. Like, for real, for a fighter that been doing it forever, for a lot of these fighters, a lot of fighters, I mean, some fighters still get nervous, you know what I'm saying? Some don't. Like my last fight with Ray, I thought about it. Like, I played it out in my head, how I was gonna work, how I was gonna play out, but like, I never got nervous, and then like, I got more excited as they came to the locker room and said it's time to make that walk.
Yeah.
It's like, it's time to get it on. But yeah, all these fighters, they might say they don't get nervous. Them dudes be nervous. Especially like when you're on that high magnitude, you this guy, and then you fight this other guy, this big guy.
Yeah.
You get nervous.
Now, you had alluded to the Ray fight, as not feeling like mentally you were there and didn't feel like that was the best version of yourself. Like, would you say that it was more a matter of you beating yourself in that particular fight?
It's funny people I get this. I really don't know what happened. Like, I betted on myself a lot of money too at that, and everything. And it's like I just had in my mind. I don't know if that was played the part, but I just had in my mind that I was gonna knock him out, and I just went out there because we worked on a great game plan. Like, Montana did a good job training for. I mean, it was a short camp. I got a last second notice, so it ain't like I got a full camp. But for the time we did have, Montana did a great job, and we had a great game plan. But I didn't go out and execute nothing. I didn't even do nothing. I don't know what happened. And mentally, I wasn't even in the corner. Like, normally, I can tell you like everything that was said to me after a fight. But like, I don't remember not a word that was said to me. I don't know what happened in the fight. Like, it's just blank. But it happens. You know what I'm saying? You got nights like that. I sucked that night came on the biggest night of my career as of yet, and a night that could have changed my career. My life type shit. But
Yeah.
back to the drawing board.
And so, you mentioned, kind of having short notice, man. Obviously we saw that happen back in February on that great Saudi Arabia card. We saw somebody step in on short notice against Shakur. We saw Martin Bakole step in on short notice against Jared Anderson, man. How much is too short of notice, man? Like, what would be comfortable for you to step in on?
What I just did.
And so how short was that?
It was 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Yeah. So you wouldn't recommend
Some
going that
people
close.
do it in 4 days, like Paulie or whatever his name that fought Shakur. He did that on a 4-day notice.
I know, crazy. And I think Bakole stepped in against Jared Anderson, and even less than that.
Yeah, like
Came off the plane and right into the ring. I don't know. That was short.
Yeah, like 4-day notice is crazy. Like, how do you even make the? I mean, clearly Paulie is a natural lightweight because he just was in the gym heavy. Because how do you even make that weight, or how you even even though he got stopped, but look at the blessing. He went, he got stopped and got a deal and got a changed his life after that fight.
Yeah. So do you think for you, man, like when
they offered me to fight before him?
Did they offer it to you?
They offered me to fight before him. I said yes to it.
And what happened?
I didn't have my medicals. It was only like 4 days, so they were trying to have me run around try to get some last second medicals, and they ended up finding him, and I guess it made more sense to use him. I guess he already had his medicals and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. Little known fact that people might not know out there.
No, nobody know about it. I don't talk about it. I think I said something about it in the press conference when I fought Ray, but like I don't use people's names for clout or none of that.
Right. That's a classy move. That's classy.
It came to me and it never happened, so I left it at that. You know what I'm saying? But
that would have been a great opportunity, though, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's a shame that it falls through like that, man. But sometimes, things are just meant to happen for a reason. I mean, I'm sure there's, I'm sure there's some kind of reason. So I want to know, like when you do eventually hang up the gloves and you're done with in-ring competition, do you feel like boxing will always be part of your life? Like, after you step away from it, do you feel like you want to still continue to keep a foot in it as far as promoting or coaching, anything like that? Or will you make a clean break from it?
Done.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying that is, I mean, it's just the whole world out here is more business, but like boxing take up all your life.
Yeah.
You don't have no time. It's no off season. It's all year round.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've been in the gym since I started at 17. I haven't been out the gym.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I haven't been on the best. I never got with a good promoter. I never had good management and none of that. So I always worked a 9 to 5. And after my 9 to 5, I go to the gym. Like, you be exhausted. I've been doing it since I was 17.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you're burnt.
Huh?
By the time you're done, man, like you'll have had enough, man. Like you'll be burnt out on boxing.
You're already burnt out. So like I help. Like now I'm finna get ready to go to the gym and help a little bit with the kids. But like when I'm done with boxing, I'm done with boxing. I don't want to be nobody coach because being a coach is just like being a fighter.
That's a full-time job. Yeah.
You got to be in the gym every day, making sure you do this. When I'm done with boxing, I'm gonna be traveling and living my life and laying up on my couch getting fat.
Good for you. And now I want to ask. Now you mentioned the Shakur fight, man, and I know you don't like to drop names or whatever, but are there fights though that came very close, other than Shakur, that have come close to and just didn't come to fruition? That you were disappointed at that didn't happen.
Only name that that's probably notable that dropped outside of me fighting Ray, and then the Shakur name was oh no, it was a few names. They called me. Matter of fact, it was a few names, but it just ain't make sense. I got a call before the fight. So first of all, I was supposed to fight Drew Cordina for the IBF World Title.
Okay.
It was kind of pretty much signed and done. This wasn't on short notice though. It was kind of like signed, but some BS happened, and the politics side of boxing. I can't really say what happened, but it happened, and I didn't get the fight.
Yeah, I think boxing fans know that there's certainly a very, very big and sometimes dark political side of boxing. Yeah, we all know that.
Yeah. So what happened. I didn't get that fight. They called me. Now, it don't make sense because I'm fighting at 30, but they called me trying to get me to fight at 40 before the fight. From the UK, what's his name?
Josh Taylor.
No. Jesus Christ. And I had said yeah to the fight, but I'm like, I need, the money got to be, the bag got to be what the bag got to be.
It does. Yeah, you're right about that.
From the UK. The name ain't coming to me right now, but dang.
But it would have been a big fight, though. It's a big name fighter.
Yeah, he was a big name, world champion, all that. Yeah. He was a world champion, former world champion, all that. The name just not coming to me right off back right now. But anyway, him. The name probably come to me in a couple seconds, but it was him. When we fought downtown before they finally found the guy that I fought, they asked me to fight the dude. Well, I don't know why the name ain't coming to me right now.
Were you disappointed?
No, I didn't want it because it was at 40.
Oh, okay.
I fight at 130, so I told them, like, man, and they know me, I'll strap with whoever.
Yeah.
Anytime, any place. Just call my phone. I don't do all the picking and choosing, and then when the time right, call my phone, I'm there. But dang, why the name ain't coming to me.
This is gonna force fans that are watching this to go on
big one. But then they called me like that when they called me, they asked me to fight Richard Hickson.
Okay.
Before. I don't know if it ever came to his table, but they called my phone and I said no, of course. I'm like, bro, I fight at 130. Well, I'm not going to 140.
And why do you think sometimes you get these offers for 140-pound guys? Do you feel like, and I want to ask you this in a serious manner, man, because everybody knows that there are guys who are looked at as A and B side of fighters. Do you think they make this call, man, because they want you to be stepping stones like for their fighters?
Yeah, that's it. They look at his opponent. They trying to, it's a matchmaker. Matchmaker just trying to make the fights.
Yeah.
They trying to say their job easy as possible. So if I can call him and get the fight done, I ain't got to do all this hassle. I'm going to call him, get the fight done.
Right. Because there are obviously people who will say that there's the A and B side. Like I've had fighters who've come on here.
That's what it was. Chris Algieri.
Okay. Yeah, because I have had people come on here, and obviously, last month, it's becoming old news now, but we saw Tank and Lamont Roach. And obviously, Tank took that knee in round 9. And a lot of people have said, if that was Lamont that takes the knee, it's probably scored a knockdown. But Tank is the A side. You know what I mean? Like, it could have went the other way. You know what I mean? The fact that it wasn't scored a knockdown, man, is baffling, regardless of what's in his eye. His corner man came up on the apron with a towel in his hand, wiped his eye. Everybody that I've had on here, man, it says if they're in the opposite corner and they see that happen, they think they've scored a knockdown.
Yeah, that should have been scored a knockdown. Now, to the defense of it, to say, now what I will say for the Tank defense of saying everybody saying, ooh, he didn't get hit.
Right.
I can't say it was Greason's house, but if you think the slow repeat, he didn't get hit, and then he did take a knee, and he ran over there. But come on, who you ever see get it? It's the middle of a fight. You can't do that.
Right. That's the baffling part right there.
Even if you got grease in your eye, you got to fight through it.
Yeah, you got to fight through it and just hope, just look at the clock and be like, okay.
So yeah, you can't just be like, oh, I got man, come on, it's money. He the money. And clearly, you can do what you want to do when you the money.
I mean, if there's a minute and a half left in the round, you got to suffer with the grease in your eye. It's
you
one of those
break your hand, you got to fight with your hand broke or lose.
Yeah.
Your jaw broke, you got to fight with your jaw broke or lose.
But there are people who alluded to the fact on here that maybe if that had gone the other way and it was Lamont taking the knee, that it would have been a no-brainer and it would have been scored a knockdown, though.
Absolutely.
Just because, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, sometimes guys don't necessarily, it's not always an even playing field. Some guys get preferential treatment, like you just alluded to, with the politics of boxing, which is something that I've talked about on here. You know, obviously, we're still seeing a lot of bad judging. We still see a lot of bad decisions. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that is a black cloud, you know, over boxing that holds it back sometimes from regaining its glory and being up there like with the great sports. I mean, I love it. I'm passionate about it, man. But we you know, but there are still some things that we need to do better at, you know.
No, for sure. It's the judging on. It's so corrupt with the judging.
Judging sometimes is crazy. I just had last week Terrell Gaucher on there, man. I mean,
I was just about to bring that up.
His fight with Elijah Garcia was fucking ridiculous. I don't even know if I could even find a round in there. I asked Terrell, man. He thought that maybe he gave away maybe one round where he wasn't at his best, man. But he damn near pitched a shutout, the poor guy. But because Elijah Garcia, and this is no disrespect to him, he doesn't control the score. He's a 21-year-old prospect. Terrell Gaucher is a 37-year-old veteran. That's the narrative they want to push. They want to push the young prospect, you know? And it's sad, though. A guy goes out there and he fights the fight of his life, man, and he puts out a clinic against a younger guy, and he gets shafted like that.
Hit him bad.
It's sad. Yeah, it is. It's sad.
It did me like that in Vegas when I fought in Vegas.
Yeah.
But it happens, and there's nothing you could do about it. Once they say you lost, you lost.
I know you're fighting the powers that be, man. I mean, you know, even Lamont, man, tried to go to the New York State Athletic Commission, man. It would have been big news if they would have overturned that. I never saw them overturning it, man. But at least he had to try, though. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because it was so controversial. But I mean, it looks like he's going to get his rematch. I mean, I do see Tank a little more dialed in for the rematch, though. I don't think he's going to let that happen again.
Yeah, we're gonna see. The rematch is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be intriguing because everybody like, all right, you know, Lamont with the distance, Lamont. You know, I thought Lamont won the fight.
Me too.
A lot of people thought Lamont won the fight. But yeah, so the rematch it's gonna be big. I might go to it.
Yeah. Do you feel like now? How active would you like to be, man? Like, would you like to get a few more fights in 2025? Is that the plan?
That'd be beautiful because that's beautiful. If I could squeeze out 2 more, that'd be beautiful. It's not gonna happen, but. That'd be beautiful. I could probably say I know for sure I'll probably squeeze out 1 more.
Yeah.
For the year out. Hopefully. Because like my route, like these last 2 years, maybe 3, I've been fighting once a year.
Yeah.
So
I've been
kind of inactive.
That's not enough though, right? When you're doing it at the professional level, man. Like you would like more than that.
No, for
obviously.
Sure that ain't enough. Unless I was getting paid like tanking them, then I'd be like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
When I leave the job, once I leave the ring, the ring. I leave the ring Saturday night, Monday morning. I'm back at the job.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
It's the day job, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So I'd be like, yeah, that'd be beautiful. But like again, like I said, we in the works with TKO, and the way they gonna be doing it, you gonna get like 2 to 3 fights a year anyway, mandatory. So
yeah.
So if we go with that, then at least I know I got that to look forward to where I'm gonna be more consistent. But outside of that, it's just gonna be the waiting game, just waiting for the phone to ring, honestly.
And that's obviously the promotional company with Turkey Al Sheikh and Dana White, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, do you like what they're doing for boxing? You know, because they're very polarizing too. I love what they're doing, man. They're trying to get the best to fight the best, but they are making some waves as far as like wanting to scale back the belts, scale back the weight divisions. You know what I mean? Like, there's been talk about going back to the original, 7 or 8 weight divisions. Maybe not having so many champions at every weight. Are you in agreement with some of the moves they're making?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
Wow, there's 40 belts in the one division.
Yeah.
And then I can see if y'all making them fight each other, y'all don't make them fight each other.
Right.
Just think about it. They had 4 kings of the lightweight division. None of them fight each other when they was the hottest at the prospect, which was Tank, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko. They never fought each other at that time.
Yep.
It went to like when they was the hottest, and it was like, y'all not even making these dudes champion, but y'all letting them hand pick who they want to fight, who they don't want to fight.
Yep.
So the fans is losing at the end of the day.
Yep, they are. Yeah, I know. I mean, how long have the fans been calling for Tank and Shakur? A few years now. I
Yeah,
mean,
like the fans will lose at the end of the day. Like if you guys talking about you the best and you the best, and go out there and show it, prove it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, do you have a date? Do you have even a potential ballpark date of when you will be in action again, or
Nah,
still waiting
I
on
wish.
confirmation?
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I don't got nothing. I ain't even went back to the gym yet. I'm gonna take me one more week off. Then I'm gonna head back to the gym and get back to the basics. But yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Are you optimistic about what TKO is going to do for you, though, man? Like, what have you discussed, man? Like, are you excited about this opportunity?
I like how they got it going on. Like I said again, they're gonna have you fighting every 5 months. So for like that's good for a lot of people that's not active, or
Yeah.
I should say consistently fighting. Like because like I said, right now I'm doing once a year. So on a playing field, I'm gonna be fighting twice a year.
Yeah.
And the good thing about it's actually a great platform for you. Got to think about it, they're not gonna get the upper echelon fighters because they all signed to these promoters, these big promoters already.
Right. Right.
So they probably gonna get more. I can't say who they're gonna get and who they're not gonna get, but they probably gonna have more free agent type fighters, you know what I'm saying?
But you do get an opportunity, though, to be on those Riyadh season cards and fight in Saudi, though, man. Those guys are making some good bank over there, though, right?
Yeah, but you're not gonna be making that bank with the TKO. You're gonna make some decent money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of gonna be like, to me, it's probably gonna be more like a Conor McGregor thing, like when he just got so big and then he crossed over and he fought Floyd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're gonna keep theirs inside their league, the TKO league, and then what'll probably happen is when somebody to face or so the name then got so big. Like say for instance, if I was at 35 and our name then got so big over there, I done defended my title over there
Yep.
numerous times and I done beat. No, I didn't kept the title, I didn't beat people, then my name so big, and they're like, oh well, whoever at 35 is out there this big, like it could be a Tank, Shakur, or
Right.
or whoever at 35 in that division. It's a big fight to make, and then they probably just cross do it. But like, it's a great opportunity for a lot of people that haven't had the opportunity to showcase their talent.
Yeah. I like
That's
what Turkey's
unsigned.
doing. Yeah. I like what
Yeah.
Turkey's doing. He really seems passionate about the sport, too. You know what I mean? And he's not really jaded because he hasn't spent his life in the sport. So, you know what I mean? I don't think he has any any intention of getting into the dirty side of it. At least I hope not.
So I think it's good and it's great for like a lot of people that like boxing is kind of based on popularity right now.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of guys that's unsigned that just don't got the money behind them.
Yep.
That's great talent, but they just can't showcase it, or they've been matched the wrong way. So they haven't like for instance, somebody like me, like you know what I'm saying, like my whole career, I like pretty much was B-side my whole career.
Yep.
Thank God I made it as far as I got.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like,
this is a great opportunity for fighters that are, in your situation.
no, for sure. They ain't gonna make more money. They're gonna be like, man, listen, they think these fighters be making all this money. They don't. Like, yeah, the more popular, the big names and the kind of I say the contenders. Other than that, man, a lot of these guys, there's some fighters that put it out there. They don't be making the money people thinking they be making.
It's like there's a small little percentage, like the top 5%, man. All the money kind of stays up at the tippy top there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And everybody else just scrambling around, just in grind mode, trying to get there.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. It's insightful.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. Well, listen, I hope it works out for you, man. I'm a fan, man. I know me and a lot of people in my boxing circle were pulling for you hard, man, in this last fight, man. So, I'm tapped in. I'm a fan, man.
I'm going to shake back.
Yeah.
I'm shake back.
Hey, listen, man. I know you'll be back, man, and I'm looking forward to whatever you do, man. We're in touch now, man. So when you got some news and something's popping off, man, let me know. We'll jump back on here. I'd love to do it again, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. It's been a great chatting with you, man. Really an honor, man. Yeah,
appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, man. We'll talk again, brother.
All right, you have a good one.
Yes, you too, sir. Thank you. There he goes, folks. Thomas GunnaMan MATTICE. 22-5-1, 17 knockouts, man. Competing at super featherweight, man. Coming off that tough one, man, to Raymond Ford. Jesus, just 10 days ago. Now I'm lost now. It is April 21st at the time of this recording. That fight just happened on 4/12. So 9 days ago, man, that guy was in the ring, man. And you know, he just had a tough road, man. September of last year, he fought, man. He was on the wrong side of that technical decision where the plug got pulled on the fight in the 6th round because of an accidental headbutt. And, you know, obviously frustrated about the, you know, the different, you know, twists and turns that his career has taken, man. But on his game, man, a great fighter, man. And happy to hear that he has now signed with TKO, man. Hopefully Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana, you know, can help make some great moves, not just for Thomas, man, but for other fighters that sign with them, man. You know, hopefully they can put them in good positions, get them more fights, better opportunities, and just, you know, set these guys up for success where maybe other promoters and other management companies have dropped the ball. So eager to see how GunnaMan will bounce back. But I have no doubt that he will bounce back. That's the main point here, man. So really enjoyed that conversation, man. Just a lot of insightful points made. Love having those kind of conversations, man. Again, just amazing, real conversations. They happen right here, man. You know the motto, as I said before: legends, luminaries, world champions, fighters on the come up. Coming here to chop it up with your boy Reckless Rexx. We just had another banger of an episode, man. So my thanks to Thomas, GunnaMan, MATTICE. We will definitely do it again and have him back on when there's some news of his next fight, man. Make sure, of course, to like and follow Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook. And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay tapped in to, as I said, the best boxing conversations anywhere on the planet. This is, of course, the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of boxing podcast. You know it. I know it. The world is slowly starting to know it. They're coming around. The viewers, the subscribers are starting to tap in. And again, big thank you to all those people who were along for the ride, man. Couldn't do it without you guys. Couldn't do it without the amazing guests like Thomas, GunnaMan, MATTICE, and the multitude of other phenomenal and insanely talented guests that I've had the pleasure to have on here, man. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I got good news for you all out there. You guys can be champions too. How can I do that, Rexx? I'm home watching you. How can I be a champion like you? Well, it's very simple. Perk up your ears, get out your notepad, and you only got to write down one simple thing. You want to be a champion? Continue to stay tapped in with Off the Couch Boxing. Continue to roll with us. Continue to roll with the champs. Peace.